Hi, welcome to day 16 of my environmental challenge at home. 50 days of trying to improve my environment, the environment, or environments in general. Today we're in the garden. My role in my family is to prep the garden, bring in the compost, turn it over, and have it ready for my wife Rosemary and our neighbor Lance. They do the gardening in this bed, and I get to reap the benefits later on in the season. So what I did today was, when you're working in the garden, try and do little bits at a time. You'll enjoy it a lot more, and it'll feel more rewarding. So I took out the leaves and the debris in here, separate out the sticks, re-put an edge along here where the lawn comes into this edge. I've collected some compost. I also did some weeding. So I took all my leaves that came out of the garden, put them in here. And then when I pulled my weeds with a little bit of soil, throw it on there, and that'll go back in the compost pile. And then a year later, this is the stuff that comes back, which is a nice composty, rich mix. And so compost is made up of decaying plant matter. And if that plant matter were to go into the dump, right, it would actually create methane, which is a greenhouse gas. So by composting your materials, you can add soil material that will make the garden accept more water, have more nitrogen, warm up earlier in the spring for plants to grow, and have more micronutrients that plants need to establish themselves. So when I spread my compost, I'm going to spread it out in through here, but you'll notice that within any good compost pile, you'll find all these little remnants that are not biodegradable. And so these I put into a bucket that I keep over here. What I forgot to mention is that I also take, besides the stuff from the yard waste, I take my home waste and we put in this into the compost all winter long. And so that's coffee grounds, onions, and eggshells in there today. But it could be anything that's compostable or biodegradable that we put into the compost area. And if you're fancy, you can bury it, but otherwise just pile it up over the winter time and be a lazy gardener. So I spread it about 3 to 4 inches deep, and then what you want to do is you just want to take it and turn it over in the soil. You don't need a rototiller, you just need to turn it over so that you expose some of the stuff underneath. And usually working backwards is the best way. This helps maintain something that's called soil structure. When you're working in the garden, you want to maintain that soil structure as much as possible to help the roots get down in and grow well. And once you turn over the garden, ideally you're not going to be stepping in the garden. You'll be stepping around the edges to do your maintenance. Another option to use your compost is here's that apple tree that I pruned before. Grace, you want to get a shot of that? And so if we take our compost and we spread it around trees, shrubs, even in perennial gardens, it'll give those plants a boost. It'll help improve the soil quality around there, and especially if you have plants that are competing with each other, they'll have less competition because they'll have more nutrients. That's my take for today. Hope you're all doing well, and when you're out in the sun, make sure you wear your hat.